Picking up where I left off, folks. For whatever reason, the tablet kicked off. I think maybe it just got too hot in the sun. These, my annuals, like my Cosmos right here in the back, you can actually see buds starting on those, so I'm very pleased with that. I gave all of these beds a good feeding. However, I'm very disappointed in these perennial hollyhocks that I got from, I guess it was Walmart earlier this year. They're just not thriving in this. However, I turned around here, and I am pretty sure that that is a hollyhock right here. So maybe the critters actually transplanted one into my garden soil, and that decided to take off. So I'm just going to let it go. I'm hoping that's exactly what it is. A view from the back of that perennial stand. I've got this beautiful Jacob Klein that is just coming up into bloom. This bee balm with the crimson red. Thank you, Sandy Shepherd, for the beautiful coneflowers that you've given me. Almost all the coneflowers that you're seeing in my garden are from Sandy's garden. The Queen of the Prairie, this fluffy pink stuff, is already gone to seed. Some of it's still blooming, but mostly gone to seed. So what I'm going to do is break off those seed heads and share them with my neighbors, as well as probably shake a whole bunch of them behind that garden fence. Maybe it'll run out those horrible phragmites that are killing my garden. Healed up all my potatoes. They're actually in bloom now, doing really well. I've had something, oh, look at that, I got honeybees in my squash blossoms. That's a good sign, because I haven't seen any squash forming yet on being pollinated on these lemon squash. I lost my Magda hybrid that I had growing over here. I did harvest my Italian striped hybrid. I think the Magda just hung down a little bit too far, and we have discovered, now that we have enticed a woodchuck, or a woodchuck family, into town here. So he probably had a really good meal of my first Magda hybrid squash. My yellow squash, I don't have a lot of them formed yet, but again, the blossoms are fully open, and I can see bees in there that are doing their job and pollinating. Now that's a squash beetle in there. I don't really want them on there, because what they do is they tunnel into the actual fruit. You see that pretty orange blossom? That's actually a nasturtium that I planted along with the squash to try to kind of run out those, or deter those kinds of beetles and that kind of beetle damage. I found the striped cucumber beetles severely scabbing the skin on my cucumbers, that two of them which I harvested today. But you know, it's just surface. I'll just skim that off. My peppers are doing nicely. I harvested 4 whole early girl tomatoes yesterday. Ate 2 of them for lunch. Remember last week I told you for 40 cents I got these new white Gretel eggplants? Look at there's, I've got fruit on them already. You know, you gotta love it. My carrots are doing well. I don't know how long before I can actually start pulling up and seeing what they look like. The peppers are fantabulous. I'm starting to get my cherry tomatoes here. Again, look at the peppers. Now again, this is week 9 after planting, but some of these peppers came in, you know, 2 or 3 weeks after my initial planting. Speaking of which, these tomato plants back here, I only got about 5 weeks ago from my sister, is a little 6-pack. And look at, they're already probably 3 feet tall, full of blossoms, full of blooms. I can pick some more of these beautiful snow peas tonight. I just picked more of those yellow capitano. There's a pretty little yellow neck squash, straight neck squash starting in there. More of those yellow capitanos, and I'll probably come out here and get some more of these yellow wax beans today too. Again, good healthy eating to get me through chemo. These are my early girls. I'll be picking those in a couple days. They're in the orange status right now, but they'll be coming up. I sprayed some of that BT also on this kale, thinking that maybe there were some kind of little worms, caterpillars getting to it. This is an example of the damage that I was getting from, where the heck are you? There you are. From those striped cucumber beetles. You know, if I find something that's not edible, it goes right back onto the ground. As a matter of fact, if you look down there, you see that was that beautiful romaine that I planted behind my cucumbers, hoping that they would shade them and keep them from going to bolt. But come on, nothing's going to stand up to 3 or 4 weeks of 90-degree days. Oh, I guess I should have picked that radish because it's already gone to seed. But my beautiful Swiss chard, excuse me, I call this chemo brain, is heading up nicely. I look down here, I can see baby beets forming on my early wonders. Picked a gorgeous eggplant off of one of these. You see, these are called little fingers here, and they're just loaded with little eggplants. But this one I let go to about 7 or 8 inches long. Very pleased with the production on these things. They're immensely productive. My basil just smells heavenly. Haven't seen too much fruit off of these are white eggplants, but they're just starting to fruit now. Pulled up my big gargantuan tomato last week. Again, basil. You can never have too much basil. Well, I can probably pick some of these beautiful grape tomatoes today before I go turn on the hose and water everything in. I'm just going to cut this actually. I'm going to do it right now. Just going to snap off this lettuce, which has already gone to bolt, and just drop it right back into the soil, into the straw, let it compost. This is that squash plant that I found on the side of the road when I was walking Benji a couple of weeks ago. Put it in here. Yeah, it was just like last week. Put it in here, and look at it, she's coming up. She's thriving, so love it. This immense early girl has already got probably 30 tomatoes on it. Just unbelievable production. Oh, I got to get that hose turned on because my herbs over there are wilted something fierce. It's already, I don't know, probably about 84 degrees here. You know, it is what it is. We knew it was going to be a hot, dry summer. But, oh, I just picked probably 3 pounds of those Capitano Italian, yellow Italian Romano beans. They'll go nicely in a stir fry tonight with a little olive oil, garlic, and a shot of soy sauce. These down here on the bottom are my muskmelons. They're nowhere as big and glorious as my neighbors who planted hers into the soil. But you know, hey, they're sprawling nicely on the trellises that I hand built, and they're full of blossoms. So I'm hoping for some fruit. But unless I get some fresh water on there, we're just not going to see it. I do still have some blueberries. If I feel good next week, after I take my antibiotics prophylactically to protect against infection, I'm going to go visit our wildlife management area, which is full of high bush blueberry bushes, wild. Given the heat and the drought, they'll be very small, but given the heat, they should be very tasty this year. So I see my little Thisbe took off. He's probably floating around some of the other Monarda right now. And yeah, this is backyard, week number 9 from the first planting of the straw bale garden, and the plants are healthy, and I'm healthy despite everything that's coursing through my veins right now. I appreciate your prayers. Love you guys. Peace out.